Okay, today we will do another very important topic as per the UPSC uh, syllabus, that is talking about Robert Merton. Robert K. Merton, we have already spoken about Parson. Parson is a very well-known functionalist who was giving his idea, but today we will talk about Merton. There are three concepts of Robert K. Merton which we understand when we daily do sociology, and these are the three concepts which we will talk about. We have already spoken about one of the concepts, that is conformity and deviance, in my earlier lectures, which you can go through when I was speaking about basic topics on sociology. I have spoken about conformity and deviance. Today I'll speak about two topics. One, we will talk about manifest and latent function, and second is the reference group. So what is a manifest function? It refers to the intended function of a social policies, processes or actions that are consciously and deliberately designed to be beneficial in their effect on society. Meanwhile, a latent function is one which is not consciously intended, but that nevertheless has a beneficial effect on society. Contrasting both manifest and latent functions are dysfunctional in nature. Dysfunctions, the type of unintended outcome that is harmful in nature. Okay, Robert Merton's theory of manifest function. American sociologist Robert K. Merton laid out his theory of manifest function and latent function and dysfunction too. In 1949, in his book Social Theory and Social Structure, the text ranked the third most important text in sociological books of the 20th century by the International Sociological Association, and also contains other theories by Merton that made him famous within the discipline, including the concepts of reference group and self-fulfilling prophecy. As part of functionalist perspective on society, Merton took a close look at social action and their effect and found that manifest function could be defined as very specifically as beneficial effects on conscious and deliberate actions. What we do deliberately, what actions we do deliberately. Manifest functions stem from all matters of social action, but most commonly discussed as outcome of the work of social institutions like family, religion, education and the media, and as a product of social policies, law, rules and norms. Take an example, the social institution of education. The conscious and deliberately intention of the institution to educate educated young people who understand the world, its history, and who have knowledge and practical skills to be productive members of the society. Similarly, the conscious and deliberate intention of the institution of media is to inform the public of important news and events so that they can play a vital role. So consciously deliberate intention which we have, that is what we know as the manifest functions, and that is which we don't know deliberately and consciously, that are latent functions. While manifest functions are consciously and deliberately intended to produce beneficial outcomes, latent functions are neither conscious nor deliberate, but also produce benefits. They are in effect unintended positive consequences. Continuing with examples given above, sociologists recognize that social institutes produce latent function in addition to manifestation. Latent functions of the institution of education include formation of friendship among the students who matriculate at the same school, the provisions of entertain and socializing opportunity via school dance, sporting events and talent shows, and feeding poor students lunch and breakfast in some cases, and they would otherwise be go hungry. The first of the two is the list perform. The latent function is a fostering and reinforcing social ties, group identity, and a sense of belonging, which are very important aspects for a functional and legally healthy society. The third performs the latent function of redistributing resources in society and help to alleviate the poverty experienced by many. This function, when latent function does harm. The thing about latent function is that they are often go unnoticed and uncredited. Like if I am socializing my child, if I am going to the school, some people participate in dance, music, sports. Many a times they are not credited and noticed as if I am getting very good marks of my education. That is, unless they produce negative outcomes. Martin was disorder and conflict within the society. However, he also recognized that dysfunctions can be manifest in nature. These occur in negative consequences are known as advanced and include, for example, the disruption of traffic in the day-to-day life by the large event of street festival or a protest. It's a formal thought that primarily concerns sociologists. In fact, one could say that significant proportion of sociological research is focused on just how harmful social problems are unintentionally created by law, policies, rules and norms that are intended to do something else. New York City's controversial stop and frisky policy is a classic example of a policy that is designed to do good but actually does harm. The policy allows police officers to stop, question and search any person who is deemed to be suspicious in any way. Following the terrorist attack on New York City in September 2001, police began to do this practice more and more. So much that in 2002 to 2011, the NYPD increased their stopping and frisking by 7-folds. Yes, the research data on stops should show that they did not achieve the manifest function of making the city safer, because there was mass majority who was stopped and it's safer because the majority of those stops were found innocent and of any wrongdoing. Rather, the policy resulted in a latent function, or this function of racist harassment, as the majority who were subjected to the practice were Black, Latino, Hispanic boys. Stop and frisk also led to racial minorities feeling unwelcome in their own community and neighborhood feeling unsafe, at risk and harassment while going about their duty lives and fostering distrust in the police in general. So far from producing a positive impact, stop and frisky results over the years in many latent functions. Fortunately, New York City has significantly scaled back its use of practice because researchers and activists have brought that these latent functions is light. Reference group. Reference group is defined as a group with which one always makes a comparison in order to evaluate one's achievement, aspirations, role, performance, and ambition. They act as a normative standard for the individual. Merton later distinguished between reference group and interaction group. Interaction group are general part of individual's social environment but may rather be normative standards for individuals, not to serve standard or comparison. Reference group is an aspirational group and is defined as normative term as a standard of comparison. Mustafa Sharif defined reference group as groups which individuals relate themselves as a part or which he aspires to relate himself psychologically. What are the reference group typologies? Typologies are Positive reference groups are ones that individual wishes to join, and negative are those which individual wishes to avoid. It also gives the concept of anticipatory socialization, in which individuals start to behave in a manner in which members of aspirational groups behave. It leads to change in the value system of the individual and facilitates easier merger of individual in aspirational group. A dysfunctional aspect of anticipatory socialization is closed system is that an individual becomes an outcast in his own social group and fails to gain entry into reference group and is reduced to a marginalized man. Influential factors in choosing a reference: power and prestige, cultural values of the person and the reference group, isolation in membership group, open versus closed group, and reference individuals or role models in the group. Characteristics of a group. Characteristics of the reference group are: individuals or group consider behavior of other individuals or group as an ideal behavior and imitates it. The individual or group compares themselves or itself with other individuals or groups in reference to the groups, individuals and desires for such groups and weakness. The feeling to relate weakness and effects lead to feeling of relative deprivation in individuals and groups. There are certain criticisms for the reference group theory. This theory is not profound into the new fact. It is only explains behavior but does not suggest any means to control it, and it explains an individual influenced by the group in reference of the entry. So this is Merton's reference group which we can talk about. Since I am talking about it, although I have already spoken about deviance and conformity, just to remind the student that what is deviance all about, I will just go through what I have already spoken for few minutes so that you can understand what we have done earlier, if you don't remember. Okay, when we were talking about this, the basic concepts of sociology, we spoke about deviance. So I will go back to deviance. So deviance is recognized as a violation of cultural norms, violation of cultural norms based on positive and negative behavior. Let us revise deviance. This is about deviance. Deviance is the violation of cultural norms based on positive and negative. Different or unexpected are words upon used in describe deviance as sociological concept. Like crime and law, violation of formally enhanced criminal laws, jubilee and delinquency, violation of laws by the young people. The attempts of society makes and controlling thought and behavior. Passive socialization. Society's rules exist in our mind, externalized by the feeling of shame and guilt. Resocialization process, cohesive method used to alter a person, show self-image and personal perspective on issue. Criminal justice system, the institution that is responsible by reacting to alleged violation and societal relationship. Social foundation of deviance varies according to norms. No action is inherent deviance. People become deviants. How others perceive and label us. Deviance involves power. Rule makers, rule breakers, rule enforcers, and norms and applying them and linked to the social position. What is deviance as a functionalist perspective? As functionalists see, parts form a whole, affirms cultural values, clarifies normal boundaries, promotes social unity, encourage social change, opens lines for communication. So this is what it is. Like we have the institutional needs and the cultural needs. So conformity when both of the things have been accepted. When I also accept, others also accept. When the innovation happens, when the institution rejects it, but the cultural goals accept it. When does ritualism happen? When the institution accepts it and cultural goals reject it. When does the ritualism happen? When institutionalized rejected and cultural goals also rejected. Who new means there is seeking new goals, there is a rebellion. So one of the leading theories of deviance is labeling theory. Primary deviance episodes of non-violation of most people that take part in little harm done by self-concept. Secondary deviance, when people make something of another to deviant behavior, they may push the person and repeated norm of inhibition, aid in the development of the new deviant idea. Stigma, the mark of social disgrace, involves putting a person through degradation. Retrospective deviance, reinterpreting someone's past, just Johnny's behavior with consistent with the present deviance activity. There's another conflict theory of deviance. Attachment, family, peers and school helps us in confirming attachments. Opportunity, degree of confidence a person has about future and opportunities. Involves time and energies are linked to legitimate activity. Brief, buying into conventional morality. So this is all about deviance. The conformity is assured by deviance. That when we conform to the norms of the society, we say that there is a conformity. So we were able to take today 3 topics given by Robert Merton. First was our manifest and latent groups. Second was our reference group. And thirdly, the concept of deviance. Thank you, Rama. Thank you very much for today. Okay.